Hi friends, I'm Prairie Vintage and I wanted to do a collective reading for the Twin Flame Collective here. Now, it's interesting because I've been tapping into a new Twin Flame sort of frequency here on this channel, and it's been pretty consistent here with my subscribers in regards to the types of energies I've been pulling, mostly the divine masculine, who is not showing emotion, addictions, yada, yada, yada. You know the story. So if you're not in a twin flame journey, this reading might not be for you. Maybe you just like joining me here, or maybe you have no idea you're on the twin flame journey. Although, if you suspect you are, you most likely could be. You could be questioning it, but I do talk to a lot of you guys in regards to what is going on. So with the new, or the full, I should say, full super moon happening here August 31st, there is huge energy coming in with this full moon. So I wanted to do a collective reading, although I don't know if I'm picking up on the twin flame connections that have been going on for these last 2 years. The B-back bus that I like to call, that got a flat tire and keeps on coming and going and coming and going. And the divine masculine that is almost ready but he's not, is almost ready but he's not. And I've never seen such the universe giving so many chances to the twin flames on their journey. Now I say divine masculine, although it doesn't have to be a male, could be a female with divine masculine energy. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about. The DF, divine feminine, the DM, divine masculine. And I would venture to say the majority of you guys are the divine feminine here on this channel. And you tap in, because I do tap into the divine masculine frequency to see what's going on with your person. Now, I don't know which one we're going to be tapping into here. And I wasn't planning on doing 2 readings, although I will tap into the twin flame connection, whichever one comes out here, I guess is the one that we're supposed to be reading for. That might have the most sort of change here coming in with the full moon. So you may or may not resonate with this, depending where you are on your journey. And like I said, you might not even be on this journey, and you might be the divine masculine, although I doubt the divine masculine here is sitting around watching tarot cards saying, what's my person thinking of me and what's going to happen in the full moon, and will I hear from my person? Most likely not. And I think the divine feminine is probably not there either, although we will see where the connection is at. And maybe from a karmic standpoint, the divine feminine wants to just move on with her life. So let's take a look. What do we see here for you guys? Now, if this reading wraps up quickly, we may do a secondary one, taking a look at whatever the 2-year standing cycle that just doesn't seem to ever freaking close out here. Or we may look at the new twin flame sort of connections that I feel are connecting. But I do feel like there's a very strong energy here for the month of September. And of course, kicking off that energy, we have that super moon, that blue moon on August 31st, which that energy is really going to be pulled into the first week of September. So you guys might already be feeling the energies there of that full moon, which are really reflective of what the fuck was I putting up with situations that I don't have to really deal with, or what the fuck is going on, period. So depending on whichever twin flame sort of connection you're tapping into or involved with, we will take a look and see what comes up. So Spirit, thank you so much for this collective message for the twin flames. The twin flames connecting at this time in this frequency. Please communicate whichever connection we should be tapping into here in regards to the energy shift. What's the energy coming in here for the divine feminine? So we're going to look at your energy, and then we'll take a look at your divine masculine. Now, the one that flipped around here is the Page of Swords, and we asked specifically about the divine feminine. So what's this mean? Well, I think the divine feminine is asking a lot of questions, and this could very well be I'm tapping into the new twin flame connections here, not the one that's been cycling around forever, because I'm pretty sure those divine feminines don't give a shit anymore. We're looking at the divine feminine who's asking all sorts of questions. Maybe, am I in a twin flame journey? What's going on with this person? Blah, 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 blah. Maybe you're snooping on his social media. Maybe you're curious to know if this person, who this person is, what's this even about? Okay, but the Page of Swords is all about early stages here of starting to sort of question, but it could be that this divine feminine, or what I just got, could be asking different questions. Okay, maybe she's been in a cycle here for 2 years or however long. I say 2 years because that was when most twin flames here, 2-3 years, connected here energetically in the wave. You know, previous to that, 2007, 2009 might have been kind of the last sort of journey here that kind of fizzled out. It's like the universe didn't really get too involved there, but this one just seems to be the marathon here of never ending. So this could be that the divine feminine here that's been in a twin flame journey is now asking different types of questions. She's now looking at things differently. She's like, why did I not call this quit sooner? Or why did I not say what I had to say sooner? Or why did I not, I don't know, whatever it is here, but there's lots of questions going on with the divine feminine right now. And I feel these are questions that she is beginning to ask and she does not have answers to. All right, so what else is going on with the divine feminine energy right now? Okay, Two of Pentacles, and it is in reverse. So, well, this is out of control, essentially. So I feel like this divine feminine has no control over the situation. And so maybe she is encompassing an energy of saying, well, if I have no control over a situation here, if I can't really make a decision or a choice, because this is going to involve somebody else making a decision and a choice, and I have no control, what are my options then? What can I do here? So I feel she feels a little bit ass backwards because, I mean, look at her ass is in the front, the front of her here. So she might be, yeah, what I'm getting is she wants to move forward and she's fucking looking backwards here with this ass in the front. So, divine feminine, what the fuck is going on? Strapped in. She's feeling the turbulency here. And maybe this full moon is making her feel like she doesn't know whether she's coming or going, or whether this energy is coming or going, or whether are they on or off, or what's going on here. So I think she's kind of a little in the dark and feels a little out of control here. And I don't think that she feels like she's able to do anything here because she doesn't have answers to any of her questions. So she's kind of in the dark. We're going to pull one more card here for the divine feminine energy before we look at the overall energy, the divine masculine. Now again, if this reading's short, I'll put in the timestamp for the second reading that I'll do, because I do feel I'm tapping into two sort of twin flame frequencies here, maybe more, I have no idea, but very distinct difference in connections that I tap into here. And I feel as though with the all these planets in retrograde and the full moon, I feel like, yeah, like, I don't know if I'm just tapping into different frequencies or if my intuition is in high gear. Could be all of that. New subscribers here, but I really feel like I probably don't even need these cards with the amount of information that I'm kind of intuitively getting here. So I do feel there's at least two distinctive twin flame connections going on here. So I don't know why I'm like talking so much. I think I'm having, what is it? You can skip this if you don't give two shits, but remember I did a video here in regards to my spiritual awakening, and I was saying how I didn't think I had a kundalini awakening, but I wasn't sure, but I knew I had a spiritual awakening. And all of the sort of symptoms that I went through, quite intense, right? Anyone who's gone through dark night of the soul, yada, yada, but I'm like, but I don't think I had a kundalini because I wasn't experiencing a lot of the physical stuff that you read on the kundalini. But let me tell you, I was having a kundalini and just didn't even put the two together. For those of you guys who are unaware, when you meet your twin flame, you can certainly activate your kundalini, and all of a sudden all things are kind of fired up here. But the amount of mental drainage that comes along with that and fatigue was for me the biggest thing. And really that was the only sign, but you know, I just took it as, I don't know, everything going on. I was kind of drained, but this is like, you can't even function. You can't even think. I quit my job. I just couldn't even muster up any sort of thought here at all. Like I couldn't keep a thought. And I just lost desire for really everything. It's like the depression, right? But you do the soul work here. And why I brought up this kundalini is because I feel as though when we're going through the thick of it, you might not recognize the amount of healing and what it is that we're doing. And really, we might feel like we're out of control, but really, or we're calibrating to what's going on around us. But the body, the physical body here has to do whatever it has to do in order to be able to support what is going on. So yeah, it's certainly common for you to go through this sort of a experience here with your twin flame, for those of you guys who are experiencing the newer type connection, or like I said, not even sure why it is you're experiencing what you're experiencing here. So take this as an informative video here for those of you guys who are just embarking on this journey. Okay, let me pull a card here for divine feminine energy. Yeah, look at this, 3 of Pentacles. Like, she was ready to work together, to have some fun, to be open to what she could create here, create a family, create a business, work together with her divine masculine, you know, open energy here. I think she's still kind of willing to do this, but yeah, I feel as though the divine feminine feels like she doesn't have any control here. So I feel like we're tapping into the more new-ish twin flame connection here, because I do feel as though the divine feminine is kind of out of this energy for the frequency that I've generally been reading here on this channel. So this is cool. We might do that connection after, if you guys are still even interested. Most of you guys are moved on your way. But let's take a look at the divine masculine for this divine feminine. What's going on with this divine masculine? What's the energy like here for the divine masculine? Okay, 6 of Wands. So he's still dealing with his ego here. He's still all about how he is perceived by people around him. Perceptions are everything. So how does he look? If he comes forward with his emotions, is he going to look foolish? So he's really wrapped up in perceptions and how he looks. And he's all about his ego, what he's he thinks he's winning. He definitely thinks he's winning. So yeah, he's definitely in the thick of the ego. This definitely sounds like the beginning of a twin flame journey. Bless your soul. And it's so funny because when you talk to twin flames and they're like, I'm on a twin flame journey. Like, it's like the greatest thing ever. It's like, I'm in this motherfucking headache of a relationship. Sorry if this is new. I don't want to taint you, but it's like a relationship from a relationship. It's like an energetic connection from hell, okay, is what it is. Really, it's like a mind fuck, and with no guarantee of anything at the end of the rainbow. I mean, no guarantee, although you do find your soul lesson, which we'll pull here, what that soul lesson is, and it is all worth it. But dealing with this person, like, oh my goodness, I'm sure you didn't ask for it. And most of the time, both of you guys manifest each other, but it is the divine masculine who generally kicks it off with his manifestation. So either he's, you know, I don't know, bored at work, bored in his marriage, relationship, situationship. He's, I don't know, his higher self is manifesting because this person is all in their 3D, is doing things that aren't really fulfilling the soul. You know, it's all about perceptions. It's all about ego. So divine masculine manifested something deeper, a deep connection here, in which, unfortunately, the divine masculine isn't ready to generally handle what it is he's manifesting here. So here comes the divine feminine, and she's like, yeah, what could we do? What is this about? What do you want with me? And then she quickly realizes that she's topsy-turvy. It's completely all over the place. She has no control. She might even be suffering from managing her thoughts, managing her priorities, her finances. Maybe she had to quit her job because she couldn't keep a straight thought here. And all she's thinking about is like, how can we work together here? Like, how can we even come together to work together? So now she feels maybe alone, confused. She has questions. There's no answers. And she's still willing to work with someone here who's like, ta-da, I still look like somebody who, you know, is calm, cool, and collected on the outside. I don't look like I'm vulnerable. I don't look foolish for opening myself up here to a connection that generally the divine masculine is feeling equally as deep as the divine feminine, if not deeper, hence why he manifested her into his being. So let's pull another card here for the divine masculine and see what his energy is like. And then, like I said, we'll look at the soul level, or I guess we'll look at the 5D level of what's going on, because this is more 3D. And then we'll look at the soul lesson here, and maybe some outcome. I know, a little ambitious, and I keep yapping because I do want to pull on the other twin flame connection, maybe. We'll see. All right, divine masculine now. What is going on here? He is in his ego. He is concerned what other people think of him, what other people are going to say about him if he were to, God forbid, admit his feelings for you or pursue you. Yeah, look at that. Exactly. We have the moon. Okay, and the moon is in reverse here, although I think what's happening here is Spirit is saying with the full moon, you have a divine masculine who was in a moon energy, who was completely, this is the Queen of Cups, okay? The Queen of Cups, and she's drowning in emotions here. The Queen of Cups is card in the tarot that is the most compassionate and deep loving type energy you can have here. Your divine masculine feels deeply, okay, feels a lot of compassion for you, but he's drowning in his emotions out of fear. It's like shoved right down to his subconscious. He's like shoving this down because it's all about what he looks like on the outside, right? Nobody can know that this is going on in the inside, that emotionally he's being drowned out. And I feel like the new moon is bringing him out, bringing whatever is shoved down here out into the open. So there is some form of victory here for him, whether he knows it or not, because he's going to have to process these emotions one way or another. They're coming out. And with the super moon, I really feel as though, you know, his whatever fears or whatever is in the subconscious is slowly pushing this energy out. So it's coming to the surface. So he might be a little more emotional here. He might, you know, be wanting to confront the divine feminine here in a sort of energy that appears as though nothing's going on, but Wands is all about, you know, movement, inspired movement, communication. So he may be kind of cocky. He might not even talk about any of this, but the reason why he might be coming forward is because all these fears and all these feelings in his subconscious are slowly being pushed up by the by this super moon. And in the meantime, the super moon is, you know, making this divine feminine like question everything, like question why she is completely lopsided and out of control here. Yeah, like what the heck is going on here? Okay, so we'll pull one more energy here for the divine masculine 3D energy here. Spirit, what is the divine masculine energy here in the 3D? What is the energy encompassing this divine masculine? As the Queen of Swords. So somebody who is very, very logical, somebody who is a little brass, a little brazen. So I do feel like this person's coming forward with communication, but they're going to be quite cold. I think this person's going to be quite logical. Okay, they might want to talk to you about, you know, everything but emotions. They don't want to talk about their feelings. They don't want to talk about what they've been suppressing here, their emotions or their feelings for you. So they're going to want to talk to you about intellectual things, okay? But I do feel like they're wanting to come forward with some sort of information. And the fact that we have the Queen of Swords and we have the moon in reverse, they're getting some sort of clarity here, okay? They're coming out of some sort of confusion. They're coming out of some sort of illusion. They're getting a little clearer about, you know, what does success look like for them? So maybe they're not ready to come out in the 3D, but I think inside they're getting clearer about maybe what they are suppressing, and maybe they're getting clearer about the feelings that they've been holding down here. So I feel like these feelings, actually what I'm getting, these feelings that have they suppressed, maybe were so down in the subconscious here that they didn't even want to admit or recognize was going on. So it was really unknown to them. But I feel what this supermoon's doing is, and they can't deny now that these feelings are there because they're slowly being pushed up. And the Queen of Swords isn't an idiot. So I feel like this divine masculine is understanding here at a very intellectual level that there's something going on, that he does have deeper feelings here than he's been caring to acknowledge to himself. So there is a lot of self-acknowledgement and clarity here coming through for this divine masculine, although I feel like the divine feminine here is kind of on the opposite side, unfortunately, which is kind of how these things go. Although the last card that I pulled for her was this, which is kind of like an outcome-ish card, and the outcome-ish card here for the divine masculine. So I feel like she's still open to, you know, work or collaborate here, and be open if the divine masculine were to come forward with communication or some sort of clarity. I think she is open to having that sort of communication here, but I don't feel like it's going to be a conversation about feelings or emotions. It might just be clarity around, you know, certain questions that maybe the divine feminine is going to be asking him about, basic things that maybe he hasn't opened up to her about. You know, maybe she's been completely in the dark about a lot about this divine masculine, so he's willing to talk about, you know, I don't know, like maybe where he works, I don't know, maybe about his friends, maybe about, you know, his past history or something here that he's willing to talk about that doesn't dive into any sort of emotional space, if he doesn't have to be vulnerable. And I think he also wants to show off some of his intellect. So I think he is ready to really, you know, talk up about maybe his studies, how intelligent he is, or that sort of thing. So I think he's proud and wanting to show off here to divine feminine, and she might be feeling, yeah, like a little bit subpar, I guess. She's feeling Page of Swords, so like he has the control on the situation, and she's really curious about, you know, the information that I think he's willing to volunteer all of a sudden. So she is in this type of an energy. So let's take a look at the what's going on in the 5D, okay? So what's going on in the 5D here with the divine feminine spirit? What's going on with the divine feminine here in the 5D? Of course, I dropped a million cards. Give me a second here. Okay, so I say a million, it's only 3. Sounds about right. And only one of them flipped over. So we're going to read all these cards because they fell for a reason. Look, we have the Page of Wands in the reverse. Okay, this is the party girl card. Page of Wands is optimistic, and look, this is in reverse here. So I feel like she wants to passionately move forward, but is stopping herself from maybe saying exactly how she's feeling here in regards to wanting to move forward here, with the 5D telling her, hey, you know what, you might want to not totally go full steam ahead here with what you're passionately feeling like you want to do, because there's probably a journey ahead which you might regret kind of blindly taking this jump towards, hey, let's just have fun, let's just party, and then, you know, spend the next, I don't know, whatever, 3 months at the clinic figuring out why we are riddled with diseases. So all right, so our higher self is saying, don't jump here. Although you might feel like jumping, don't jump. Yeah, because there's conflict. So the 5D self knows there's conflict here. And the 5D self knows there's something up. Like there's something up with this divine masculine, because why is it that he has been kind of really suppressing this? I think intuitively, even if she's not highly intuitive at this point yet, because I feel like this divine feminine is still going through some sort of journey here where she will realize how deep her intuition goes. And maybe you are. Maybe you're more intuitive than me. I have no idea, but I just feel like there's somebody here who is just at the beginning stages of their journey. And I mean, I've always read tarot cards, and I've always been an energy reader. In fact, I was reading energy before I was reading tarot cards, but I feel like, yeah, combine the two and here is what you got. And, you know, after my kundalini, all of a sudden I'm like connected to spirit and tapping into all these frequencies that I never had before. So definitely can explore this in the journey, which is a good thing to have. And that's what this speaks to as well for the divine feminine here. She gets into whatever she is supposed to be doing in this world. Like she's supposed to be coming forward with some sort of craft, some sort of talent. She's supposed to be providing here some sort of service, some sort of gift, some sort of blessing, a creative pursuit here that she has to the world. And that's a result of this sort of connection that she will explore here. But her 5D knows she's conflicted. Spidey senses are telling her, here is someone who is willing to talk about, you know, whatever their whatever their freaking dictionary of words that they understand here. But anytime I kind of start to poke around or ask whether this person, you know, is interested or something in regards to their feelings, this person is quite standoffish here. So 5D is conflicted and is saying don't jump here. And of course we have the Empress here in reverse for the 5D self, for the Divine Feminine, which tells me that, you know, this Divine Feminine is a Divine Feminine. Obviously she is a beautiful beautiful Divine Feminine energy, full of abundance here, and she is supposed to be birthing something to this world. Like I said, what's her craft? What's her lesson? What is she supposed to be working on here? It's still going to come. I feel like it is going to come, and the universe knows that it's there, but right now she's blocked because there's a soul lesson, which we'll get into, like what lessons she's supposed to be learning here in order for her to be able to be in her full Empress upright, to know her full abundance, to know what unconditional love is, to know what it is she's supposed to be birthing, to know her, what she's supposed to be doing here on earth here, because these connections are all about what is it that we can do here to pay it forward, right? Do we start our own YouTube channel, right? What do we do? How do we help people? How do we help ourselves? How do we develop whatever our intuition, our creative pursuit is here? I think she knows that she is this great Empress, but she has lessons to learn. So she's a little blocked here. She's blocked, okay? And she also has lessons in love that she needs to learn. You know, she might have gone through other relationships here that might have made her feel really blocked in the heart space here, which she'll find out. So this is a very, very early twin flame connection here that I'm uncovering. Definite twin flame. We have the Empress and the Emperor falling in from the 5D self of the Divine Empress, because the Divine Feminine is so aware of what this connection is. Now, you might have not have known that it was a twin flame connection, although I think you do know. You clicked on this video. Maybe you're uncertain, but look what we have here. So your 5D self already knows that you're in a twin flame, Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine. You know, that that these are divine counterparts here, and that there's something here that's supposed to come together, okay? Now, she sees the Divine Masculine here in the upright, but this is from her 5D self, which, okay, is great, but this is part of the lessons that, you know, most twin flames will teach you, is that you might see your twin flame like an emperor, but I assure you, your twin flame, which we'll see what is going on here with the masculine, but when we tap into this 5D, but look, this is like, you know, somebody who is in charge, somebody who is confident, someone who does the right thing, somebody we can rely on, somebody who isn't shy away from doing what is right and standing up and that sort of thing. But she sees herself as this reverse Empress, so she might think she might not be good enough for him, or what could she do to, you know, engage with this Emperor here. But I also feel like maybe she feels like he's blocked and she can't really do anything, again, to get him to, you know, be an emperor in her world, to be right in her world. Like, she's conflicted here. Like, if this guy is an emperor and he's able to be an emperor, you know, something's telling her, like, I can't leap forward here. Not to leap forward here blindly. But she knows what's going on here, because intuitively the Divine Feminine wakes up to this connection before the Divine Masculine does, okay? So let's take a look at what's going on with this Divine Masculine in the 5D. What's going on with this Divine Masculine in the 5D? Yeah, we have the 9 of Swords and the 9 of Swords in reverse. So this 5D self is knowing that there's great anxiety here. And I mean, this is in the reverse. So it's like, this is having a lot of anxiety here over something that we don't need to fear. So I feel like this Divine Masculine is fearing being seen for who they really are, is fearing that, you know, a real man doesn't show his emotions, or that he may appear weak or whatever. So he wants to lean in on it more, the intellectual side here rather than the emotional side, so that he doesn't appear weak and he can lean in on his intuition here, because it's all about the image. But his, you know, his 5D self is looking at this sort of anxiety that this Divine Masculine is putting himself through for no apparent reason. No apparent reason here, because he's fearing something here that he really shouldn't. At the end of the day, what he's going to be learning here is well, we'll see what the soul lesson here is after, but at the end of the day, these types of lessons teach us something about ourselves. So he's fearing something about himself that he believes to be true, that he thinks is true because his ego is telling him it's true, or how he was conditioned in the matrix. All right, look, Knight of Cups. So again, in the blocked position though. So I think his 5D self knows that there are true feelings here, that he needs to move forward. He needs to express himself and show this cup of love. But what does the divine masculine in a twin flame journey not do? He doesn't show emotions. This is what he does not do. He doesn't come forward with his cup of love here, okay? Because he is all about what he perceptions, image, what people are going to think. Is she going to laugh at me? Is my family going to laugh at me? What do my friends think? Real men don't show emotions. This is the opposite of that. This is someone who wears their heart on their sleeve, okay? It is blocked right now, and the 5D self knows that this divine masculine is blocked from sharing his emotions here, you know? Look at him. He's put on a clean shirt. He's vulnerable. He's not wearing any armor. He's ready to express himself, but 5D self knows that there's a lot of anxiety around showing emotions here for this divine masculine because he feels like he is more focused on perceptions here. All right, so one last card in regards to the soul level here, the 5D self for the divine masculine. What's going on with the divine masculine? Yeah, we have strength. So 5D self is saying this divine masculine needs to find courage, and this is very much the lesson. So again, bottom card that I pulled is kind of the overall or outcome sort of energy here. And for the divine feminine, we got an extra card, which was the divine masculine, divine feminine. She knows what this connection is, but she needs to learn self-love. She needs to know that she has the capacity to have unconditional love, but unconditional love for herself. And what is her creative pursuits with the divine masculine? His lesson is to learn about courage, to learn about finding his strength within himself, facing his fears. What are his fears? His fears are his emotions. Your divine masculine is fearing his emotions. So this super moon, he's coming, there's energy, emotions coming up to the surface here. His 5D self is saying, let's see how this divine masculine, you know, handles this. So someone essentially who can't handle their emotions, who can't come out and express themselves, okay, because this is all about expression and coming forward saying, hey, I feel a certain way, and I feel a lot of anxiety about doing this because I'm more concerned with perceptions, needs to find some courage. This is a coward, okay? So this is the lesson. This divine masculine is learning how not to be a coward, how to communicate emotions here. So that's the soul lesson here. Wow. So pretty interesting. Let's, I don't want to use the same cards here. I was going to use these for the divine masculine, these glow-in-the-dark cards, but let's pull the, what were we going to pull? What did I say? I've been yapping. So we did overall energies, which were 3D. We did soul, the 5D, the soul lesson. Let's learn the soul lesson here, which we kind of talked about coming through, but the deeper soul lesson here. So for the divine feminine, can we get what is going on here with the soul lesson? The purpose of this connection here. What is going on here with the divine feminine? The purpose of this connection. Thank you, Spirit. So look at that. 4 of Pentacles in reverse. She has to learn to let go. At some point, she's going to have to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to run away. Okay? She's going to have to know when it is to release. And what does she have to know what to release? I don't know. A lot of things. Because right now, I think she's learning those soul lessons. She might have to learn to release this twin flame. She might have to learn to release her traumas. She might have to learn how to release anxious thoughts. She might have to learn how to release, I don't know, because she's learning how to love unconditionally. And sometimes loving unconditionally is releasing, forgiving ourselves, forgiving others, loving people from afar because we know that we deserve better, releasing guilt, shame. Ace of Swords in reverse. So there's some truth here that she needs to uncover. And I think the truth is really about herself. And I do feel as though there is also right now the truth of, which I think you're learning right now, the stage you're at, is that you're in a twin flame connection, okay? Twin flame connection. Connection from hell, okay? So you're in a connection from hell. That's why things are all upside down. That's why you have ruminating thoughts. That's why everything fell apart since you've met this person. Okay, and I think you don't understand it. You have no idea what the hell is going on here. You're completely asking these questions because I think you truly have no idea why things are, ever since you met this person, like this. Okay, ever since you met this person, things are just all fucked up. And it's because, you know, you're not really clear here on why you met them, what you're supposed to be doing. So a lot of information on YouTube here that can help you in this connection. But this is why in the last reading I did, where I said, you know, God bless you. Like, I just feel for you because this is the beginning of a journey from hell. Okay, so I mean, don't let my experience be knocking you off of this, but most people who haven't experienced a twin flame journey have no idea. They've had soulmate relationships and they could tell you all about that, and they talk about the twin flames being absolutely, you know, kooky, and that this isn't a thing, and that this is like chemistry or some sort of soulmate type level connection, and it really isn't. And unless they've gone through a twin flame journey, absolutely no one knows what the hell this is about. Unless you've gone through it, then you know exactly that this is not a normal connection here. All the synchronicities, the ruminating thoughts, obsessive thoughts, and the complete utter fucking chaos. Okay, like utter fucking chaos. And you probably are a pretty intelligent person here who might be pretty detail oriented and organized. And like I said, I couldn't hold a thought, right? So what is this? This is someone who is unclear. This is someone who needs to find a truth. This is someone who might be lying to themselves. I mean, you might not be lying to yourself on purpose, but there's some sort of truth here that you're needing to realize about yourself. And I think what this truth is, okay, because the soul lesson is you need to find some sort of truth and clarity, is that you're not a reverse empress, you're an upright empress. But not only do you need to know it, you need to live it. You need to not put up with situations, know when to fold them, know when to hold them, know when to run away, know when to let go. Okay, so I don't think you jumped in yet, but I think you're thinking about, you know, moving forward here. But if we're jumping in with wands here, I think this might be an intervention. Maybe this is why we did your reading first here, because I feel like there's a little intervention here going on. And maybe with the supermoon, maybe, you know, after the supermoon, because supermoon's more reflection. I think you're contemplating, but I can't stop you. I mean, this is your 5D, wanna jump in, but your 5D stopping you here. But just, you know, don't give in to passions here, unless you're really wanting to experience whatever you're experiencing here. Let's pull one more here for the Divine Feminine here in the soul lesson. Soul lesson, yeah, we got the King of Pentacles, and it is in reverse. So all of these soul lesson cards here for the Divine Feminine have come out in the reverse. Learning to let go. What do we let go of? How do we loosen our grip? You know, maybe we have fear of abandonment. Maybe we, again, yeah, we don't know how to move on from a certain situation because we need more clarity here. And so we just keep asking more questions, but maybe it's time to move away. We got the King of Pentacles. Okay, so this is the lacking sort of commitments here. This is the type of energy here that is blocked in a long-term, stable, grounded father type energy. This is like the opposite of that. Okay, so, you know, I think you need to get clear on, you know, where do you find your stability, and is it in another here? Is it in a King of Pentacles? You know, somebody maybe who doesn't want to commit, maybe somebody who is not in a position to be stable. So the soul lesson here is learning, how do you? And you might be a divine, like, you might be a masculine here, resonate as this Divine Feminine, but so how do you find your own sense of stability here? You know, your own legacy, put down your own roots. You don't need to depend on another person here to bring that to you. So let's find what the soul lesson for here is for the Divine Masculine coming in. What is the soul lesson here for the Divine Masculine? What is the soul lesson for this Divine Masculine? Yeah, commitment, coming together, having essentially union. This is the twin flame card, okay? This is coming into union with your twin flame. It's in the reverse because I feel like the soul lesson here is, how does this person who's more concerned with appearances get from this energy, and maybe an energy of, you know, not wanting to commit, to some energy here that's able to provide stability, to come together. Maybe this Divine Masculine doesn't believe in a coming together. you know, because for whatever reason, there's a lot of fear around a union. So energetically, and you can ask a lot of divine masculines, and sometimes they run and they have no idea why, you know, and they have no idea why, and maybe they don't even resonate it with it being fear. They just run energetically. They just don't know how to come together here. So lesson is to come into union, and they're the ones who manifested. I'm surprised we don't see the magician yet, but they were the ones who manifested. So Spirit's saying, like, their soul lesson here is to come together, to come into union. But you know, it might be a long road here, very long journey here to get to union. What do we have? Yeah, the boredom card here. So what's the soul lesson? Not to take things for granted, you know, not to dismiss the cup that the universe is giving to you, the wonderful cup of love, because we're too distracted with other things here that don't matter. And what are the other things? I don't know. Things that make us look good, you know, distractions, light relationships, drinking, partying, other third parties here that are very superficial, very light. But we have here a blessing from the universe being handed right to you, but you're more focused on things that don't really matter here to you, and you're still complaining about your life here. And keep in mind, this divine masculine knows exactly how he feels about this divine feminine, so he's kind of lying to himself there. But he still won't take that cup, right? He still won't take it. So the universe is like, your soul lesson, dude, is, you know, what are you going to learn from sitting there and not taking this cup? You're going to learn that lesson that sitting there and not taking the cup is going to result in boredom. It's going to result in you still being unhappy. It's going to result in the same old, because you're not stepping into what you're supposed to be doing here. So lesson, again, here we have 7 of Cups. What does this mean? Well, this is saying we need to get very certain what we want for ourselves. We can't be floating around here, not choosing any cups, having all these options, but getting completely confused, no purpose, head in clouds. We want it all, but we're just kind of floating around. We want it all, but we can't choose the cup. So we're kind of looking at everything and we're kind of frozen. It's like universe is saying, you need to come out of that state, you know, come out of that state, because maybe we're non-committal here. You know, we're non-committal here. We don't know how to choose the cup because we want the third parties. We want whatever we think is freedom, whatever it is that we have going on here. Meanwhile, you know, divine feminine's lesson is, do you need this joker to provide stability, or can you be your own stability here? Can you be your own stability, or is there somebody else here who can give you stability and show up in this manner, right? Not show up like this type of an energy. I should say like this, right? We want stability here. So I think what I will do is I'm going to pull 3 cards here for this connection that I've tapped into, and I'm absolutely certain this is a new twin flame connection here. I am honored to read for you guys, although I'm really exhausted reading twin flame connections here from all of the other energies I've been pulling through, but I am committed to your healing, and hopefully I provided some insights. Hopefully I didn't talk too fast. You can slow down my videos if you feel I'm chatting too fast, but really at the beginning of your journey here, I'm going to pull 3 cards just to get an overall here. After the super moon, kind of like an outcome here. What's going on here energetically after the super moon with all of this energy going around? What's going to happen between these twin flames, divine masculine, divine feminine, that I've tapped into here? We have the Ace of Pentacles. We have the 8 of Cups. And we have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Wow, okay, so what's going on here? Well, look, somebody's offering something worth having. This is a seed. This is a practical seed. And we have someone walking away here, but somebody's walking away because they need to do the emotional work. They really need to see what it is that emotionally satisfies them. And I feel like somebody here is in an energy here of dependency or needing to find how to stand on their own. So I think, divine feminine, you might be willing to offer a seed, plant something here with your divine masculine. You might put the idea out there that there is, you know, something you want to work with them too. We saw the 3 of Pentacles, so you might put it out there. You might hand them this sort of a seed, this opportunity, this blessing. This is the hand coming from the cloud that we saw. And this could very well be the language you speak. So instead of giving the cup and saying, I feel the certain way, you're saying, hey, You know, why don't we give this a shot? Or why don't we do whatever it is here that you're handing to them? You're giving them a seed here of hope for a future, the hand coming out of the cloud. And I think your divine masculine is in that Four of Cups. They're not looking at the cup in front of their nose, so they got to walk away. So I don't know if this has already happened, although I am tapping into what's going to happen, but this means someone, you know, in this connection has to walk away. And I feel like maybe you are rejected in this way, and maybe you walk away emotionally and say, you know, maybe you already offered this and nothing's happened here, so you're emotionally kind of pulled back reviewing. But I do feel like for a lot of you guys, the divine masculine just outright has to go and do inward review of what emotionally fulfills them. It's not saying that this does not, but they still don't know yet because the journey is still far. And I feel like the divine feminine is still in a dependency type energy. Like maybe she offered this and got a reaction she wasn't expecting, so now she's hanging on tighter. She doesn't want to let go here. Okay, and that was part of her soul lesson, was that Four of Pentacles in reverse. Like, how do you let go now? Maybe she's even more clingy. Maybe she's fearing abandonment here, right? Like, these are two cards of planting something in this practical world, of physically potentially being together here, and you got this somebody walking away, which would trigger anyone with abandonment issues here, not wanting to be abandoned. So it's still triggering here for you guys, twin flame. And as you know, I have a feeling I'm talking to someone who just recently joined my channel, so maybe you don't know, but I'm not going to sugarcoat or lie or make up stories here, but I feel like it's going to be challenging here, although there is movement, because I feel like there's new information that your divine masculine is coming forward with that Queen of Swords. So there is information here, there's an understanding, there's emotions being pushed up, more so than in the past, although I don't feel like this divine masculine is coming fully clean, and I feel like it's very much early stages here. But I think the advice here is learn what you can about where you're at in this journey, and learn to let go where you can, and focus on yourself, because there is something creative here you're supposed to be doing. And I think your abilities, your psychic abilities, your intuitive abilities, your ability to create something here, your creative inspirations are going to be on full high gear here, okay, especially during the full moon. So you might already be feeling that, so lean in on that and forget about this divine masculine. I know it's difficult to do, easy to say, but you'll get there, because at a certain point you just can't know more. All right, so I love you guys very much, and I'm going to tap into the secondary twin flame pile. Hey, pile number 2. I know this didn't start off as a pick a card, but I did want to do a second reading here for you guys in regards to, you know, the more advanced, I guess, twin flame frequency that I've been tapping into here for this connection, because the first pile was all about the beginning stages of the journey. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at divine masculine, divine feminine, the 3D energy, the energy that surrounds each of them, and then we'll look at 5D energies, and then we'll look at the sort of the soul lesson, I guess, each divine masculine, feminine are learning, and then the outcome. Okay, so specifically around this full moon, super moon, blue moon, very heavily energetically charged here. Let's ask, what's going on here with the divine feminine? What's the energy around the divine feminine, spirit? If she's still here watching. She's probably on a beach somewhere. Yeah, this is Page of Cups. She's looking at other suitors potentially. She's looking at other areas of interest here. I think she's finally coming out of some sort of state. Some sort of state she was in with her divine masculine, because this is all about hopeful, dreamy type energy. So I feel her heart space is opening up, and it could just be she's really pursuing her creative passions here, you know, her creative abilities, her intuitions in high gear with this full moon. And I think maybe where she was really like, oh, I can't have anyone except for my divine masculine, now she's like, you know what, actually, if somebody was willing to show up in a healed energy, I think my heart is open for that. I think she's, you know, she's healed enough for her to start opening up her heart. And I also feel as though she is really focused in on this creative thing she has going on. I feel like her heart is speaking to her more so now about her creative pursuits. Maybe she was working on something and she put it aside for a bit, or just wasn't into it because she was wrapped up with this twin flame, divine masculine was going on. But now I feel like she's more interested in going back to whatever this was, or starting, you know, starting her sewing factory or whatever, her tarot YouTube channel, whatever it is she's doing here. So let's take a look at this divine feminine. What is she doing? Yeah, Lovers in reverse. She doesn't care so much about what's going on in the destiny world because I think she's tired about hearing about it. So as far as she's concerned, this connection is over. And she does feel a sense of that there was a sense of destiny here, or that, you know, there was a choice to be made. And the choice she made was to leave it. But she feels like she probably wasn't the one that made that active choice, that the divine masculine, in his lack of actions or his actions that weren't aligned with what was supposed to be destined here and coming together, she had no choice but to put an end to the connection, okay, or accept the end of a connection. I feel like this divine feminine put an end to a connection, or is just no longer interested in pursuing it at all. She's come to terms with there being an ending of something that was supposed to be destined, someone who was supposed to be her forever person, and now she's looking at something else here, okay? Something else caught her eye, is more interested in what she has going on here than wrapping herself up in headaches. So this one wanted to come out. Yeah, the High Priestess. So High Priestess, Spirit is saying upright and reverse for some reason. So yeah, I think she's going between kind of worlds here, but I think she's in her high gear, because this, again, this is probably more of an energy reading here for you guys, divine feminine, because I don't think you're really too concerned with what is going on in this connection per se, but I think energetically this reading is really to talk about what's going on as the energy forecast here, collectively, energetically for you. And I feel like intuition is at an all-time high, you know, especially with the Page of Cups. I think your intuition is in high gear, although I feel like it might have been blocked here at some point, or I just feel like this connection might have been kind of really fucking with your intuition and with what, you know, what you knew to be kind of your high road, your high self, what you're supposed to be working on, what you're supposed to be focusing on. So I think you're kind of in this sort of energy. So if you don't know exactly what you're supposed to be working on or creating here, or you don't know if this new connection or whatever you're looking at here that you're opening the heart space to, you're still kind of in this for the full moon. And that's normal for full moon, because full moon is, we're really, you know, taking a backseat, kind of reviewing things here. So I think you're kind of in your head about, you know, you had a recent experience here. So now you're looking at opening your heart space and you're thinking like, am I going to regret it? What lessons have I learned? What can I do really here? So I think you're working really close with your intuition in regards to what you're supposed to be doing here. But I do feel like intuition is at an all-time high for you, divine feminine. Let's take a look at your divine masculine energy and this twin flame connection. What's going on in the 3D energy here with this divine masculine and the twin flame frequency that I'm tapped into? I would say this is at least, you know, 3 years, 2-year type twin flame connection. So we have 3 of Wands in reverse. So he's looking at what didn't work, what fell apart. And what fell apart was this connection. This connection fell apart. It's not moving forward. So in the 3D, he's kind of wrapping his mind around disappointment here. It never came together. The ship never came in, okay? If we want to talk tarot, just definitions, and this is the ships coming in, we're waiting for ships. This is like, you know, we did what we can here at some point in time to lay the groundwork, wait for ships, we get on and we work on our future. It's like this divine masculine never really did what he was supposed to do in order to have a ship to come in. So he's like, why didn't it work out? Where's my divine feminine? Why isn't she waiting here? She's not waiting. This is ended. So his energy is that of disappointment. I mean, we don't see a disappointment card, but this is like when plans fall through and we're kind of like, oh shoot, like things didn't work out in our favor. You know, the thing we were waiting for never really happened. So I don't know why they were waiting for a ship here that was supposed to be handed to them. I don't think this person did much of anything, but let's see what's going on with this divine masculine energy that I'm tapped into. Oh, we have the 7 of Wands. So still a little defensive, but I think this this King of Wands, yeah, probably a King of Wands. This Seven of Wands type energy here is still defensive, but I think this Seven of Wands is talking about how this Divine Masculine wants to fight for this connection. He wants to understand why things didn't work out here. And he's thinking, like, how do I overcome all these obstacles? Because I think if this Divine Masculine did not want to fight for this connection, he wouldn't be looking at all the things that he might have to overcome. But I think because he last encountered or had an energy here with this Divine Feminine that felt a lot like this, now he's thinking like, oh my gosh, like what are these, like all these obstacles that I'm going to have to deal with here? Like she's going to be asking me about this. She's going to be angry about that. I'm going to have to, you know, deal with this. I've been prolonging that. I've been delaying this. I haven't been honest about that. And all these things that I feel he's looking at that he's going to have to overcome. So he's feeling kind of like, how am I going to overcome all these things here? Although this does speak about having the higher ground. And I feel like this is coming from a pretty solid, honest place here. Okay, this is someone who wants to take accountability here, because I feel like this is the solar plexus, all about our accountability, our kind of our drive and our ability to, you know, do what's in our highest good here. So I feel like this Divine Masculine is gearing up what it is that he's supposed to be doing in order to fight for something here that I feel he does want that fell apart. So what else is going on here with the super moon here with this Divine Masculine? So Wands is also about communication here. So you got a lot of Wands. So your Divine Masculine might be coming forward here with some sort of communication. Plus you see on your end with the Page here. So then you got the Page of Cups. So it could very well be you're expecting an apology, but maybe you feel like you owe your Divine Masculine an apology. Maybe the last time you saw him, you were like in this type of an energy. Could very well be that some Divine Feminine feels like she owes her Divine Masculine an apology for not showing up in some sort of way. Maybe she, at the last minute, canceled whatever ship plans here, and he was waiting. And the ship and the ship never came in. That is mean. Oh my goodness. Yeah, man. You totally did that. What the hell? What's your YouTube channel, man? So rip a page out of your book. Yeah, I think you totally, I don't know, you cock blocked and walked, and he's waiting there. And you might feel you owe him an apology, but you're not quite sure of why High Priestess is upright in reverse. You're not quite sure intuitively if what you did was the right thing. And well, this is now my opinion. I don't think that was the right thing to do, but do you want an apology? I don't know. Do you want to open up the can of worms? If you feel you already had closure, no, but I didn't realize you were that brazen here. But I do feel like your Divine Masculine is coming in with some sort of communication here. So let's pull another card here. I could be wrong. I could be. I was wrong before. 1981. Let's see what's going on here with the Divine Masculine. Judgment in reverse. Oh, okay. So something he needs to come to terms with here. Having a hard time coming to terms with something here. So I think because this could be we're lying to ourselves as well, or we don't want to see some sort of truth here, and we don't want to accept something we need to be awakened to and have this sort of a epiphany and an acknowledgement here in reverse. We could be at a point where we might repeat a cycle. This Divine Masculine, like during this full moon, we really need to be careful that this Divine Masculine learns whatever information he's needing to know here, or else he might just go from the Judgment back to a Fool here. So I think the message here is quite significant. Is that I think he's one, trying to figure out why his ship never really came in. I think intuitively he knows he didn't do maybe what he was supposed to do here to make a ship come in, but I really got the feeling that he was waiting for something here and it never came in regards to this connection, and to regards to you, that maybe they made plans with you. And I don't know why I'm laughing. I don't know which is worse, the one that did that or the one that's laughing at this Divine Masculine. I do find it pretty fucking hilarious though. I think he still can't believe, he feels betrayed by you. I think he feels let down by you, but there's something he's not accepting. I think maybe that you would have, or why you would have done something like what you did. So let's say for example, you are always kind of there to, I don't know, be there kind of at his beck and call maybe, or be available here to him, and you were not, and he might feel as though you let him down here, but he doesn't want to come to terms with something here. And I feel like maybe you feel bad about it. So maybe that's why you feel like maybe you owe an apology, because maybe you just, you weren't there for him. Yeah, I don't know that a lot of you guys have a cruel heart here, but, and sometimes and if you read my caveat, their energy comes through very strong here in order for me to get the message. So it could have just been as nuanced as, you might have just not showed up, or you might have showed up differently and let him down. But I think he let himself down, because I think that he could have had good ground to stand on to fight for something here. And maybe he didn't put the due diligence in the work in order for the ship to come in. So now he has to deal with whatever situation. And this is exactly dealing with our karma, dealing with the past. And I think what he's dealing with is the fact that he was supposed to fight and lay the groundwork for something to happen, and it never came in because he didn't put in the work here. So now there's a need to come to terms with the inevitable ending of something here. Okay, so maybe you're not as bad as I suspected here, but I think that message is for maybe one of you guys. Maybe you had enough. This person might have been very combative, very defensive at some point, and maybe you just told him to go pound sand. Okay, so let's take a look at the Divine Feminine in the 5D space. What's going on with the Divine Feminine here from an energetic standpoint here with the 5D? Oh yeah, look, death and rebirth. So we have it in the reverse. So I feel like this is probably final step here for this Divine Feminine. I feel as though putting a complete end to this connection, which is really what she has done here. And the fact that we have all these major arcanas prove to me that I am tapping into the saga of the twin flame journey that's been going on and on forever. Like, look how powerful these cards are happening here. Okay, so I feel like she's put an end, or the end of this twin flame type connection on a 3D level now needs to catch up on this 5D level. There's a change here, a transformation. There's a need to fully release on a 5D. So she might have released, she might have detached, but in a 5D, she's still kind of hanging on in some sort of way in the 5D. So, and this is preventing her from fully being reborn into her full self. And I feel like when she's reborn into her full self, and this is what I was tapping into earlier when I said, I think this connection is coming into union, or when I say union, union within self, because we're never guaranteed coming into physical union with our twin. And I think most of you guys probably already know that, maybe not, depending where you're at. But I feel like in this journey, if you're this far along, then maybe shame on you for not going far enough to understand what's going on with you here. And what's going on with you is this is a soul journey. This is a soul journey about how you ascend, how you become the greatest version of yourself, how you can contribute to this world, how you can raise the vibration here. And you might have to transform a lot, because you might be someone completely different in the 3D here. And sometimes letting go of 3D sort of misconceptions we have because we were conditioned to believe it is holding us back from our true self. So in the 5D, you're needing to transform here and fully release. And I mean, I don't know. Do we ever fully really release our twin flame? I don't know. Maybe we do at some point. But this is in the 5D. So in the 5D, there's a need for this full death to take place in order for there to be a rebirth of this Divine Feminine. That's a very powerful spiritual card here. The Lovers and the Death and the High Priestess. Wow. Okay, so let's pull another card here for the 5D here for the Divine Feminine. We have the Five of Wands, conflict. And I feel she is conflicted here. I mean, in the 5D, because when we look at the 5D, which is our higher self, it's like we understand that there's something so destined here. And we understand we need to transform, right? And so it's like, yeah, I can transform. And then it's like, but you're conflicted because it's like, well, now what? It's like, okay, great. I'm this enlightened being who's ascended, but I don't have any sort of desire here for, connection here. If this was supposed to be my person, it's like, well, yeah, I can put up with the soulmate energy and I can go pursue my things here, but it's kind of this emptiness here. I think she feels conflicted here, but I feel she wants to get out. I don't know if it came up upright or reverse, but either which way, it's inner conflict here. And I feel like she's conflicted. Hence why the death is still in reverse, because there's a need to fully release in order for her to have a rebirth. So she's conflicted about that full release, that full upright of the death card. And that's it. Once the death card is, and this ties into the other reading I was doing. So the frequency here of, you guys probably tapped into that. I don't know, pile 4, last reading, how they feel, I think it was. It's like she's about to blow the trumpet. Okay, she's about to blow the trumpet with the judgment card, and she knows that when she blows it, the death, it's over. Like, there's no coming back from this. There's no resurrecting this. And she's about to blow it, but I think it's still in reverse. So what's this full moon? I don't know. Like, full moon energy is the reflection. So she may have to wait until after this full moon, because she doesn't want to be impulsive. So she doesn't want to be impulsive. So she's about to blow the trumpet. And once she does, she has this full rebirth, and connection can never be the same. And she comes most likely into full union with herself, is what I see. This is what I'm feeling, which is quite powerful. What do we have? Yeah, 4 of Pentacles. I need to let go fully. That's what I was saying here energetically, what I was feeling. There's something she's still hanging on to here, you know, and maybe it's not necessarily this masculine, obviously, because she's already let go in the 3D, but in a 5D, I think she's still conflicted here. I think he still got a little piece of her, you know, and she's trying to figure out. I think she's trying to fight and figure out, how do I completely let go, because I want to transform. I want to have a new beginning. I think she wants this, but she's conflicted. She doesn't know how. I mean, you can't just all of a sudden make yourself forget about somebody here who you had a soul level connection with, but she's learning on how does she release, how does she let go in the 5D. So she's like, yeah, I let go in the 3D, but I know that I'm supposed to be doing something in the 5D, because I still feel like there's something here that's holding me back, or I still feel as though I haven't had my full transformation. I still feel, I think there's anticipation here as well, anticipation that, and that's what this card is, the anticipation card. So it's anticipation, I think, that she has, that she's going to be, you know, coming into some sort of union or some sort of new energy here, which could be that energy rush that I was feeling here coming in, because we know something's coming in here. You know, we might know that someone's coming in here too. Like, look, pigs grow wings. I think there's something coming in here that she's not expecting. You know, she's not expecting whatever's coming in here. It's like something that really, there's no way in hell that it would have happened here, because pigs don't grow wings. So let's see. Let's see the 5D for this divine masculine I'm tapping into. What's going on in this 5D space? What's going on in the 5D for this divine masculine? Holy judgment he was having in the 3D. So Queen of Swords. Wow, he's really, really getting clear. He's really thinking about something in a very, very honest way. Okay, this is a very fair, balanced, honest way. This is looking at a situation from the point of view where we're not really picking sides. We're really just looking at facts. So 5D self is looking at facts, and I think this is in, you know, in the 3D when we're faced with this, like, we really have to start getting honest here. So I feel in the 5D, that's what's happening. 5D self is saying, hey, divine masculine, you're not acknowledging something here. Maybe you're not acknowledging how you contributed to the falling apart of this ship not coming in, and you're not being honest with yourself about it. So you might be combative, you might be defensive, you might be feeling like your divine feminine let you down. You know, this is like the bride left at the altar, but the groom left at the altar here. So you might be defensive, wants to know why. So you might be feeling like he's not coming into a realization of something. And the realization of this is, hey, dude, you're the reason the ship didn't come in, most likely, because the divine feminine has been trying to communicate and work with you in a balanced give and take way, but it didn't happen here. So it had to come to an end. So I feel like 5D self for divine masculine is really in heavy contemplation here with truths. With truths that the 3D self isn't maybe wanting to accept at this time fully. We'll see if he's going to repeat cycle here, but let's take a look. What's the divine masculine going on here in the 5D? What's going on here? We have the 9 of Pentacles. So yeah, it's like the 5D self here of the divine masculine already understands that there's a level of independence here. There's a level of freedom here that this divine masculine has that nobody can take away. So regardless if he's committing to the situation or not, this divine masculine is able to stand on his own. But guess what this 9 of Pentacles is in its more shadowy attribute? It is someone who's lonely, someone who's going to spend their whole life being a bachelor, saying, oh, I have my bag of money beside me, or I have my 5 Pentacles here beside me, but I don't have you know, my divine feminine here. So there's a loneliness that comes here. It's like you can have everything you really want here except for heart happiness. So in the material realm, it's like understanding that the divine masculine could be completely fulfilled. But is that what he wants? Does he just want to be completely fulfilled? And I think this is what the contemplation is here. Is like, do I want to be single and happy with my stuff? Or do I have, you know, a space that needs to be fulfilled here in an emotional realm? And because we're seeing this in the 3D, you might not be being honest with themselves, like in the 3D, about what does this look like? You might be choosing independence, freedom, being single, being bachelor here. Let's see what other card comes out here for the 5D here for the divine masculine. Final card for the 5D. So we have the Knight of Pentacles. So the Knight of Pentacles is slow as shit. It's like, and sometimes this Five of Pentacles is like, you know, when you're driving a manual car and you have it in drive, but you're not, you know, you're just kind of letting it coast down the hill, but you're not gassing it. This is kind of like, it's moving, but it's barely moving. So, I don't know, like 5D self is like recognizing that there was wasted energy here. There was wasted potential because of the fact that this divine masculine is moving really slow, if maybe getting stuck most of the time, stalling out. Didn't know how to drive manual. His clutch was stuck. Kept popping the clutch. So this divine masculine was wasting a lot of time, dropped a lot of, you know, a lot of stuff along the way here. And I think it's stuff of value. And it could have been stuff of value that he had or that he valued. Yeah, so the stuff that he valued before he met this divine feminine, you know, as he progressed in this journey, was falling away because it's not as important. And I think this Queen of Swords in the 5D is recognizing this, is getting very clear that all of this shit here, you know, my 70-inch TV and drinking with Bob up the street every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and my whatever, my sports car and my singlehood and whatever unhealthy belief I have here about freedoms, all of these sort of things that I was carrying around with me was slowly dropping along the way because it was weighing me down. And it really was weighing me down in me moving forward in my life. So moving very, very fucking slow here. And as a result of this, what I wanted for my future just never happened. My future just didn't happen here. Okay, so in the 3D, not coming to terms with it because it sucks when we find out we kicked ourselves in the nuts by our actions. So yeah, I think Judgment in Reverse is this divine masculine still an ego. Still an ego is what I'm sensing because he doesn't want to admit that he did anything wrong here, right? Although dropping a lot of nonsensical things here along the way. Walking barefoot, very earthy energy I'm getting here. I didn't read any signs here because I have a feeling I'm tapping them for all signs here. All the twin flames that I'm reading for here at this channel is relevant if you're tapped into this twin flame frequency. Okay, so let's take a look at the, what are we looking at? Outcome energy here during this sort of supermoon. Like what sort of outcome can we expect here? What's going on with the divine feminine here for the outcome with this supermoon, this energy shift? What sort of outcome are we looking at here? Now remember, an outcome doesn't necessarily have to be an outcome. It's whatever energetic shifts happen, and energy shifts from one day to the next. From after it leaves my mouth, it might change completely different. So we are in control of our own free will. Although this is how the energy is sitting right now and where this connection is headed based on this energy. So outcome for divine feminine. What do we have? She's not willing to work on this. So she's like, I'm not putting in any more time. I'm not putting in any more of my money. I'm not putting in any more of my effort. I'm not giving it any attention here. So maybe you've said, you know what, this is the last pick a card too that I'm watching, and I'm surprised you're here. Like, you're probably not even watching. You're probably having a drink somewhere because I think you're just done putting in time, energy, effort. Like, you're just no longer. And I think what's coming through really loud now is you're overqualified for the job. you're overqualified for the job. And I think when you get that sort of understanding, that's when you get union within yourself, is because you realize you've completely transformed and you found your self-worth. And that you were able to understand that you're being undervalued here, underpaid, and you were showing up to this job day in and day out when you know, hey, you know what? There's another job here that will actually pay me for what I'm worth here. Okay? So, yeah. Overall, Divine Feminine, overqualified, underpaid, doesn't want to put in any more time, energy, effort with this connection, Divine Masculine. Yeah, here, but we have the 5 of Wands. So, I mean, it is in the upright, and this could be play fighting as well. I feel like whatever conflicts she had here, whatever mental conflicts that she had here, she is getting them straight. It's now not such a big deal. It's just like somebody being indifferent, somebody being maybe, you know, combative or having a difference of opinion. That's what this is just someone having a difference of opinion. But I also feel like there's something about competition here coming through. So I feel as though she might be moving on to someone else here, because she has her eye on someone else. Okay, we are seeing feet, and I'm pretty sure humans have feet. It could, like I said, be her pursuit and her creative pursuit, because this is all about our creations here at a heart level. But she's opening her heart space, and I feel like she might be have her eye on someone here. So I think there's competition here that her Divine Masculine might come across here, and I think she might be concerned here with potentially him finding out that there's other people involved here. So let's get one more final card here for the Divine Feminine before we move into the Divine Masculine in regards to the outcome. Yeah, she's not interested anymore. And I feel like even if this Divine Masculine came with the Cup, I don't think she's interested at all. This is the Boredom card, okay? This is someone who is just, yeah, dissonance. They don't really, despondent, sorry. They don't really want to, they're just not into it anymore. Their heart's just not into it anymore. And I don't know, I feel like for some Divine Feminine, she might still be going through whether she even wants to date at all, okay? For the one that isn't looking, I feel like she's just lost her interest in going back on the market here. Like I said, play fighting, or, you know, going back on the market, trying to find out who she could date here and compete with other people. She's like, yeah, I'm not interested. So she's not interested at all. She might be hanging out with her friends. And like I said, you might be drinking at the beach, because sometimes I take this as someone who is more focused on, you know, celebrating, having fun, having drinks. But most of the time it's someone who just wants to sit in isolation, and they're not interested in what's going on over here. So I don't think Divine Feminine is interested, because she was underpaid and undervalued for the effort she was putting in here. So let's take a look at the Divine Masculine energy here. What's this super moon coming in with? What is this overall outcome energy here for the Divine Masculine? What's this outcome energy about? Yeah, we have the 3 of Pentacles in reverse. So he might still be a little scorn here. I was feeling he was defensive here, although I felt like he wanted to fight for something here. And maybe he wanted to fight for some clarity around understanding something. Because, yeah, his 5D self needs to get clear. He wants a clear understanding here. So he might be in complete contemplation about, you know, is this the type of lifestyle that he wants? Is something, you know, that he's losing out on, or that he's throwing out so he can move forward? And he's quite defensive. So he might not be wanting to come forward at this time to work together. And it could very well be because, again, the ships didn't come in. The 3 of Wands in reverse is, you know, things aren't moving forward. Plans are delayed. And the 3 of Pentacles in reverse is not working together. Not, you know, not being able to come together. So what do we have here? Justice in reverse for Divine Masculine. So he feels like something scorned him. He's still in his ego. And I feel like he's probably shifting the blame of this. And this is sitting with the Divine Feminine. So I think the Divine Feminine made a choice to put an end here. Okay, but like I said, if she was physically the one that walked away, or officially called it quits, she did so because this divine masculine was fucking taking forever. Okay, was choosing this, was choosing bachelorhood. So I don't know what the fuck this guy wants. He's choosing whatever this is and wants to underpay her. Okay, wants to underpay her, but wants her not to call it quits. And then sulks here about the injustices of this connection, the injustices of how he was treated. Well, let's pull one more card here for the divine masculine. Yeah, he feels like it's an unjust situation here. Or maybe he just feels like he can't do anything about it. He cannot come together and work with her. Okay, and he can't because he still fucking needs to get clear about this, you know, drinks with Tim, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. He still needs to get clear about what does that mean if he lets go of that, because he's still, you know, stuck with thinking he needs that as a part of his identity. It's part of what keeps him standing up. So it's not really a realistic thing here, but he just feels a sense of imbalance. He's not able to. Guess what we got? The fucking Three of Wands again, in reverse. That's because he's hung up on this. Something not working out. So I think your divine masculine is pissy about plans not falling through. He had a plan here. And you know what I think his plan was? His plan was to just continue doing whatever it was that he was doing. He was going to continue this. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, drinks with Tim. Continue hanging on to all of this stuff. And the divine feminine was going to be open to putting up with whatever sort of scraps here. Slaving away. But she didn't. So now it's like, well, plans fell through. So now what? I think this divine masculine is pretty pissy about this with his ego. So I don't normally poo-poo all over this the divine masculine, but this is, I'm just reading it exactly as the energy's coming in. I'm going to pull 3 cards here for the outcome of this twin flame connection that we have. Now again, this isn't going to be taken completely literal as it comes out here, because energy does shift, but as energy is sitting, what sort of outcome and where are we kind of headed here as far as we can see? I mean, I feel the divine feminine is on the verge of that death, which is obviously not literally. And the 5D here, she's having a major transformation. So what do we have here? Well, this is the stuckity stuck I've ever seen. So none of these cards say movement at all. So we might not be hearing, seeing anything from our twin flame here, but mega reflection and swords, which, you know, I feel both sides are having mega reflection here. But specifically divine masculine with this Queen of Swords, I think he's really looking back on, you know, what exactly transpired here. And this is getting in line with the truth and looking at how our own lack of words, actions, or intentions might have caused us the 3 of Swords. Our inability to walk with truth here. So we might be reflecting on that, and there's a need to take some sort of accountability, responsibility, acknowledgement here, which I don't think this divine masculine has fully done yet, because I think he's still reflecting, in the middle of reflecting. And definitely the divine feminine is reflecting on, you know, does she want to open up her heart space? Because I feel like she might be a little conflicted about this at this time, and she really needs to let go of something in the 5D, which I think has taken up a lot of her energy. She's like going, you know, like energetically in an energy here of resistance to what she needs to let go of here. So lots of reflection. And then, of course, Knight of Pentacles in reverse. You already know how I feel about that, right? It's non-movement here. Something that could be worth having. This offer, this substantial thing here is just, it's not moving. It's not moving at all. Even if it were in the uprights, it doesn't mean anything. This is very slow. In fact, this has been the whole motto of this journey, was how slow can you go? And then we have the Star in reverse, which is, I think both parties here are losing hope, and it might be starting to question whether this was destined at all, right? With this reflection, it's like, why was I destined to go through such a headache here? Like, this is losing hope. But this is also the healing card and much needed healing. Same with this, which is the outcome. And I think both parties need to heal from whatever they've experienced here, because I feel it was very draining, and I feel like that is exactly what you're doing. All right, so this is what I have here for you guys. I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know in the comments where you're at with your journey, what is going on. I love hearing from you guys, and I know today's readings were a little bit different than what I normally do, but I do love engaging with you guys, and reading energy this way sometimes helps me to tap into you a little bit better and you into me a little bit better. So I do love you guys very much, and I'll see you soon. Have a beautiful full moon, and I will see you guys for the zodiac readings for the month of September. See you soon. Bye.